All right, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum, shalom, welcome, 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 everyone. And this is our first of many. Today, our program is the book review of The Fall of America by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I have Mayat joining me today as we go through this book. So, peace and blessings, welcome, Mayat. It's glad to have you with us today.
Thank you very much.
All right, so let me get the screen share going over here.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
Loud and clear.
We're going to try to get through, like we said, page 8.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yes.
right.
Yep.
Let me know when you're ready.
Do you want to talk about the reason why we're doing this, or you want to go straight to the book?
Yeah, for me, when I read, what was the message to the black man in America?
Mm-hmm.
The revelations that I got was confirmation of so many of the things that I studied. My self-research was very deep. It was very lengthy. And a lot of times you really just don't have anybody to talk to because a lot of people just are not where we are consciously, with this information. And so after reading Message to the Black Man in America, I bought this book because I wanted to see what other revelations I could glean from it and
Mm-hmm.
learn, maybe perhaps to help guide some of my directions, my thoughts, and just really to make me a better person because I do believe that he was very prophetic. And, from 1959, a lot has changed, but a lot still remains the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to put myself in that time period and to learn what the master teacher was teaching so that, further revelations could come to me and just to elevate my thinking. And what about you?
Most definitely. For me, The Fall of America, the book is so pivotal in where we are and what is taking place. And it's so important for our people to wake up from their slumber. When it said that we are the walking dead, that is so true because we're dead to the knowledge of self. We are dead to the knowledge of God and the devil. We are dead to the knowledge of just common things that's going on. And understanding that this book was wrote back then, but when you read it, when you understand it, you understand that you're living in this right here, right now. So it gives you the opportunity to make the perfect changes in your life. Because at the end of the day, this is the decision that will mean that you will live and live a prosperous life or you will die.
Facts. Facts. So we're just going to jump right in and let's have some fun, right?
Yes, ma'am. Let's do it.
So I'll start off reading if you don't mind. Anytime you want me to stop, pause. I don't mind you pausing me. Let's just get into it. So we're going to start with, we're on page number 1. This is chapter 1, The Fall of America, Washington, D.C. speech, May 29th, 1959. The following are excerpts from a speech I delivered before a gathering of well over 10,000 people at the Uline Arena, Washington, D.C., Sunday, May 29, 1959. My people, I am here to fulfill a promise made long ago. I am here to bring you the truth. I am here with a solution to the problems of the so called Negro and his white slave masters. You are seeking something. You are seeking an answer to your 400-year-old problem of slavery, servitude, and fifth class citizenship. I am here with the solution to that problem. How good it is, then, for Black brothers of like minds and similar burdens to get together for a spiritual feast. For more than 400 years, your pleas for justice, freedom, equality, and a decent in the sun have reverberated like thunderclap sounding in the dark valleys of Lebanon. Yet there has been no answer. Never in the history of human evil have so many asked for a just pittance, so loud, so long, and received in return so little, if anything at all. The church has failed you. Christianity has failed you. The government of America has failed you. You have not received justice from any quarter. As prophesied, you, my fellow black man, are as sheep among wolves, and is to be expected every wolf is taking a bite at you. You approach the Senate, the House, the White House, and you ask for justice. You get injustice. All our prayers have come to naught because we have proceeded out of ignorance. We have not known the true God. We have not known who are our brothers. We have not known who are our enemies. We have not known who is God, nor have we known who is the devil. In a nutshell, we have not known the truth about God, the devil, and until that truth is made plain to us, our prayers for justice will forever go unanswered. We will be the subject of scorn and laughter.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. And this paragraph is really, really important. He points out that Christianity has failed you, the church has failed you. He points out that the government has failed you, that you have not received justice from any quarter, any quarter. So when our people today don't understand what justice looks like because they never received it. So when we hear our people dealing with the police that killed one of our family members and they're crying and saying they should be fired, they don't know what justice is. Therefore, they don't even know what to say out of their mouth of what will bring them justice. Because getting the cracker or whoever did it fired, that's not justice.
Facts.
They need to be dead. They need to be dead. Period, point blank. And as it says in that we are subject of scorn and laughter. When people around the world see that the cracker that go into church with the gun and kill our people, and then we take turn and say, I forgive you. I forgive you. Can I give you a hug?
Oh, yeah.
We are laughed at because they know these idiots don't even know what justice looked like.
Mm-hmm.
So we are holed up as mockery and scorn because in our minds, we can't fathom justice because our people have been so thoroughly made ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
So thoroughly made ignorant. When you don't know who the God is, then what the enemy gave you as a God, you will go to that God praying and expecting a result that you'll never get. You'll never get the result. And what happens? They go, they confess, they give their life to Christ. And 30 days later, they back to doing what they was doing before.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because what they went through, what they experienced was not the answer to their soul. It did not fulfill what they're looking for. Why? Because it's unreal. It's unreal. You're dealing in the perfect slave-making religion that your enemy gave you and put a white face up on it so that you'll always love your enemy. When my librarian in high school told me that I make her nervous, as a teenager, I didn't understand why my comment that Jesus is black when I asked another black boy, do you know Jesus is black? And when she heard that, she told me, you make me nervous.
That's
And
that revolution talk.
out of my ignorance, I apologize. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. But I didn't understand what she was saying because I made her nervous because if we spread that, we're destroying the base of their world. We're destroying the control of that they have over our people. We've given them the reality that your God that you serve is a black man, not a white man. Never could be. And so to me, that paragraph is so important, and it needs to be understood, and it needs to be burned in the minds of our people so they can understand, well, who is the God? Who is the devil? When I first heard the white man is the devil, it was like lightning and bells going off because I love history.
Right.
I love history, and I know the enemy's history. But you know how they teach it? They teach it in a way to make white folks look good and to hell with everybody else. But when I understood and heard the white man is the devil, then I knew exactly what I was dealing with. And that's that power. And I taught my children from when they came, before they even came out the womb, that the white man is the devil. So there'll never be a misunderstanding of who your enemy is. And I rest.
So in paragraph 2, what stood out to me when he speaks about us being as sheep among wolves and how everybody is taking a bite out of us. You know, I went down to this flea market recently, and I just sat and I watched the vendors and the shoppers. And there was a Asian nail salon, and it was full of Asian men. And they were servicing all black women because it's in a predominantly black community. And you know, so Chinese make money off of us with their restaurants and their nail salons and selling hair. The Indians taking a bite out of us. You know, white people been biting us for centuries. And so everybody is benefiting off of us. And we benefit off of no one. They benefit off of our athletes, our musicians. You know, any of our people in the music industry, it's a benefit for everybody else but us. To them, we're nothing more than gestures. We entertain them and we line their pockets, and everybody knows it except us. And it's sad, and you know, it's just it's downright embarrassing. But you know, let's jump on to paragraph number 3. So by now, it should be ever so clear that politics will no more solve our problem than it did the difficulties facing Israel during her bondage in Egypt. We have come to the brink of extinction. We must now and here make an agonizing reprisal of our way of life if we care anything for ourselves, our lives, our people, our race, the future of our properties, wives, and children. Justice is a common thing, yet it is elusive. Men have sought its meaning and substance since time began. Plato shrugged that justice was nothing more than the wish of the strongest members of society. Jesus equated justice with brotherhood. Shakespeare saw it as a matter of mercy. I am here to tell you that justice is the eventual working out of the will of God as indicated in the fundamental principles of truth. Justice is the antithesis of wrong, the weapon God will use to bring judgment upon the world, the purpose and consummation of his coming.
Mm.
Although we are
Hold, because that
okay,
that's big. That's big.
jump
That's big.
in.
Now, to understand that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, the weapon God will use to bring judgment upon the world, the purpose and the consummation of his coming, justice, is that weapon. So if justice is a weapon that the God himself will use, we got to be able to look and see, well, if the enemy was in power and was doing us wrong, then there has to be a change of power. There has to be a change in the relations of power, meaning that us have to come into this power seat and execute judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one thing that people will say, well, I'm not trying to judge nobody. I'm not trying to judge this one, but we make judgments every day. And if you are afraid to make a judgment on what is good versus what is wrong, what is right, what versus what's left, you'll never be able to alter the relations of power. Because you're too cowardly to look at what the situation is and what is just to fix the situation. So this is a whole new way of life that we have to undertake by changing the way that we think.
Mm-hmm.
Because things that happen to us, and when somebody come tell us, oh, don't tell me about it. I don't want to get involved. Oh, I don't want to do that. You wouldn't believe how many people have come to me and told me, Brother Muhammad, some of the stuff that you do, you really should not do those things because you scare me and I'm just watching. Because their mind, they don't have an original mind. They still be set with the cracker's mind.
Mm-hmm.
So they can't fathom justice. When I went and knocked on that damn door for the people who killed Emmett Till, and if they would have opened that door, if they was home and opened that door, it'd have been some killing that day. They say to me, you're doing things that are foolish.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not foolish. This is what justice looks like.
Mm-hmm.
This is what a man without fear looks like. This is a man who is connected to his God and finds power and authority in there. And so we move differently. And we better wake up and understand this so critically. Change the way you think by accepting your role and responsibility and who our God is in our way. You get that punctified shit right up on out of you.
Okay. And remember that it was a white lady recently. I think this was last year. She was in a retirement community walking her dog. And I think it was in Florida, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm.
And the alligator jumped out of the water
and
attacked her and killed her. And there were some people, I was around some people who we all saw the story together, and they were sympathizing with that woman. And I say, oh, wait. I say, don't do that. I say, because based upon the information This woman is old enough to be in those to be in those lynching photos.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of those people are still alive
Exactly.
who have gotten away
Exactly.
with lynching and rape and murder
Mm-hmm.
and bombings and killings
Mm-hmm.
of black innocent people.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, I said, don't cry for her because you don't know who she is.
Exactly.
And that could be the judgment of God. She thought she got
Mm-hmm.
away with it.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
their time is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Their time is coming. And we should not be sympathizing with them.
Never.
Not when it's,
Never.
so it's the weapon of God to bring that judgment. And it is what it is. They didn't cry for us, and we would not be crying them a river either.
Exactly. Exactly. These are the same people who fed our children to alligators.
And made trinkets and souvenirs
Mm,
and
mm,
postcards
mm,
and laughed about it and went to sleep and slept good
mm, mm, mm.
and showed pictures of it to their children and taught them how to do it as well.
Exactly.
And went to a church and asked God for forgiveness.
Mm, 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 mm,
You know?
mm.
So, although we are the chosen of God, when it comes to justice, the so called American Negroes are the most deprived people on the planet Earth. Had justice prevailed, there would be no need for a day of judgment to come today to plead not to the unjust judges of the world, but to the just judge to give the black man of America justice. That just judge is Allah, God. We have come to the end of the days of the unjust judges. Even though it may offend some, you must know the truth of it all. The truth hurts the guilty. Mm,
Mm.
the truth hurts the guilty. Oh, see, that's that getting CER out of public education.
Say that. Say
Let's
that.
not, let's not talk about what happened 2, 3, 400 years ago because it hurts little Becky that's sitting in the classroom today.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
According to the sayings of Jesus, the truth will make us free. The imperative need is for a clear cut definition of that truth that will make us free. We must distinguish between the true and the false so called truths that have been handed down to us from generation by our slave masters. We have been falsely taught that the truth was the matter of Jesus' birth and death. It has been taught, and this is also false, that the truth is the revelation of Christianity. Neither of these is the truth. Neither of these will make you free. The truth to freedom is the knowledge of God and the devil, truth of yourselves, others, and the real religion of God.
Yes.
How mistaken you are to assume that Jesus was the final word of truth. Jesus himself admitted he could not tell it all, yet he promised that God would send one who would not only reveal the ultimate truth, but who would reveal it to the people lying in the mud of ignorance and shame. We, the
Mm.
fools of the world, will be the first to know that truth, not the wise of this world. This is not cause for offense. For when God said he would reveal his truth to the fools of this world, it was a blessing, not an insult to us. After all, this names us his chosen people. Thus, it is that the problem of the black man in America has set off an era of troubling throughout the world. Until your problem is solved, there will not be peace for anyone.
Mm.
Today, then, is a new day dawning in a new world, for the old day and the old world have passed away. The new day, the new world, if you please, cannot come into full meaning until justice comes to our people. The burden is not our oppressors alone, much of it is upon us. The time
Mm.
has come when we must speak or die.
Mm.
Continue.
No, you hold on 1 second. Because that is That is so, so true. No matter what's going on, no matter where it's at, you got Palestine and Israel, you got Ukraine and Russia, there will never be no peace until we get justice.
Correct.
Until we get justice. And our people need to understand that. He said, the time has come when we must speak or die. So you know the truth. You have a duty to speak it. You have a duty to live it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, you're not worthy of a life. You're not worthy of a life. And too many times, especially with our people, well, I don't want to say nothing. No, I don't. Always backing down.
Yeah.
Looking to run for cover. Looking to hide. But you know what the truth is. And you know what the right thing is. But you can't continue to be punctified in this time. Because this is the time of your rise. And you must rise. Or you will die. Right along with the enemy. And you said something very powerful the other day. You said the enemy would rather kill us than pay us. That he would rather kill us than pay us. You better think about it. Because you got to make some decisions.
Mm-hmm. But you know, also too, when he says that, because you know, in the Bible it does say, you know, for the Bible thumpers, those that like to quote scripture, when it says the truth will make you free. Well, I used to be a Bible thumper myself, and I took it seriously. Like when I became an adult and I was walking in my womanhood, and when I committed my life to Christ, I walked the straight and narrow. I didn't straddle the fence. And I was strung out for Jesus. Hell or high water. Depressed as hell. Depressed as hell. But I was going to stand. And I'm still that way today, even though I'm not a Christian. But what stood out to me is when Elijah Muhammad says, you know, they talk about the truth will set you free. But what is that truth? You got to first know what truth you got to first know the truth.
Exactly.
You know, because if you tell me that Jesus is God and you know, he's supposed to come back and save me, well, that's not, I found out that that's simply just not true. And when I denounced all forms of Christianity and I literally let it go, that is when I was literally set free. I remember the day that I denounced Christianity, and you know, it was like I didn't even know that I had a 500-pound brick on my back. And when I got out of bed, and you know, I was just done with it. I released it. I let it go. I knew I was not going to go back and pick it up. I felt like it was a 500 brick that was taken off of my body, and I never felt so much freedom in my life. I literally was walking cement. I was walking around with such a heavy burden in my life, thinking that I knew the truth. But the reality is that was not the truth. The truth was Jesus he never even existed as a person. He's the personification. That is my truth. He's the personification of the Son. And I don't have to kneel and bow and confess that he is Lord. But he is nothing but a story that has been sold to me by my white slave master and oppressor. And now I can definitely say I know the truth and I am free and I feel so much better. I don't fear hell anymore. I used to walk around fearing, you know, going to hell. It was a heavy burden for me. But now that I know that hell is a condition of my mind, I can think clear. You know, you're able to think clear and make decisions. And it just makes so much more sense. then what? Because they'll sell you the story about hell and they don't even believe in it.
Exactly.
They sell you Christianity and they're not true Christians.
Exactly.
It's just a form of oppression to get you in line and suppress us.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to let that go. And that's one of the best things that I could have ever done in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So where are we? We are our leaders or so-called leaders are choked by fear. Such a leader is not worth the salt that leavens his bread. This fear is the root of their failure to tell you the truth. Now, this truth must come out. You have misunderstood the Bible. Christianity is a white man's religion, and it contains no salvation for the black man. For this very reason, the prayers of your preachers to the government, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost have fallen on deaf ears.
Mm-hmm.
Now I ask you, what good is Christianity to you and to me if that religion and God of that religion will not defend us against lynching and rape? Indeed, we will be fools to believe and trust such religion and such a God, knowing that he bestows all his blessings upon our enemy. We are taught to look forward to a salvation that does not exist. Christianity offers you salvation after death. You
Mm-hmm.
must go down into the earth and rot. That kind of salvation I don't want. I will not give you 2 cents for it. Any
Mm-hmm.
man that will work hard all his life praying to God to take and give him a home beyond the grave is a fool. I'm sorry if you think ill of me, but the truth is, all I'm going to speak, the black man in America is in a terrible condition. He is emasculated, blinded, confused, and wandering about at high noon on Judgment Day. If Judgment Day were not here, instead of some remote hour to come, I would not be bringing you this message at this hour.
Mm. Hold on 1 second. That is so powerful. And some would even say, well, he wrong for condemning Christianity. But he's right and exact. He is right and exact. You gonna get your salvation after you dead and gone. He ain't gonna do nothing for you while you walking this earth, but when you dead and gone, then you gonna go to some heaven where some gold walk on some gold streets.
Exactly. After your penis been cut off, after your wife has been um taken out of the house 8 months pregnant, and she
Mm,
stringed up the baby damn, cut out her stomach and
mm,
shot and burned, and but you
mm,
gonna be on damn streets paved with gold.
mm, mm,
Where was God when our
mm,
people was being lynched and raped?
mhm.
That
Exactly.
that makes no sense to me. And you know what I was thinking in
Mm,
in the Bible where it talks about Jesus said, if you ask for anything in my name, I will do it.
that's what it
Does it
said.
not say that?
That's what it say.
So if you got me up on a rope on a tree about to kill me, you've already assaulted me, castrated me, whatever you've done to me, you about to put a gasoline on me and set me on fire. If I'm crying out to Jesus and he said he gonna do anything for me in his name, where was he?
Exactly.
And see, I hate when I have this conversation with Christians because that's when they want to change the script. Well,
Mm,
he knows what's best for me. That's not best for me.
that's not. Wow.
Feeding my damn child to an alligator is not best for me.
Mm, mm, mm,
Watching you assault my children is not best for me.
mm,
And if he say I can ask for anything in his name and he gonna do it, then you need to do it.
mhm,
Other if
mhm,
not, tear that page out the Bible, get you a marker and cross over that scripture because it has not been working.
mhm,
It ain't been working. I wanted to read you to this. So I found this article, The
mhm,
Monument at the National Memorial for Peace and Justice, remembering the victims of racial terror lynchings in the 1950s. Because he gave this speech in 1959. And so
mhm,
I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom. And I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom and I'm going to do it really quick. and Hillard Brooks Jr., 22-year-old black man. He was murdered in 1950 in Montgomery, Alabama. Reverend Joseph Mann, 38 years old. He was kidnapped and set on fire in Virginia in 1951. April 1950, Willie Vincent. He was abducted by 3 white men who beat him severely and fractured his skull, left him for dead on the side of the road. March 1951, Melvin Womack, KKK abducted him at 27 years old in at his home in Oakland, Florida, beat him and shot him and left him for dead. No charges on any of these people. Samuel Shepard, 1951, another victim of a lynching. Harriet and Harriet Moore, influential voting rights activists, 1951. They were their home was exploded, and one of them died from their injuries. Russell Charlie, a black man, lynched, 1954. Mr. Isidore Banks, 1954. He was found chained to a tree in the woods in Arkansas. The list just goes on and on. But like, I don't understand. My biggest pet peeve, one of my biggest pet peeves with Christianity is that, like, these people were living during that time period. They were seeing these stories in the news.
Exactly.
You're hearing about it on the radio. You're going to the funerals, and you still closing your eyes, bowing your head, and praying to the same God that's not listening to your prayers. And meanwhile, the white man got on the white cape and the damn cross. So y'all serving the same damn God. The same God. White man got an advantage, black people at a disadvantage, but everybody is praying to the same God. And nobody is saying, you know what the hell are we doing here?
Exactly.
This is not making any sense.
Exactly.
And then here you got the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, this growing nation, and Christians don't even want to gravitate towards it because, Jesus, who has failed you over and over and over again.
Wow. And you make a very good point. Now, we wasn't alive when they were burning crosses in the yards of black people. But one day, and I was in the military, and I was driving to Missouri, and I pulled over. It was late, like maybe 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And it was on a back road, and I pulled over so I could stretch because I was getting sleepy. And I got out the car, and I'm stretching, and I just happened to look over in the field, and there it was, a burning cross. And I could not believe it, that this is what I'm actually looking at, a freaking burning cross. Now, at that time, I was still considering, still a Christian. I said, oh God, let me get back in this car. Got back in the car and drove off. But the question to me said, why are they burning a cross, which is the sign of our God? Something don't make sense.
Don't make no sense.
And it took me, honestly, to see that freaking burning cross to say, this shit not adding up. It ain't adding up. And our people got to be able to see it, just as you said. These people go to the church, whoop your ass, kill you, do whatever they want to do, and you go pray to their God. You say, every time something bad happens, we say a prayer, oh Jesus. But you never delivered from it. You've been saying it more and more and more, and you never delivered from it. Well, where is the power that's supposed to be in that religion? Where was it? And as he said, the black man is emasculated, his manhood taken.
Mm-hmm.
Taken.
Taken.
He's no longer a man. You can't look the white man in his eye. You see the white man walking on the sidewalk, you better
Get
walk
off.
in the street.
Right. And take your hat off and bow.
Exactly. So years after years after years of this emasculating, and then we begin to do it to our own children. Well, when you see that white man, don't you look at him. Well, don't you talk back.
Yes, the massa.
Exactly. Don't talk back. I remember one time I was in school and my teacher, Cracker, was just wrong of how she was doing people. And I said it. And, she called my mama up, wound up getting my butt whooped because I spoke what was considered to be out of turn and disrespectful because I challenged authority. And my mama said, don't you let no school better not call me again. So when I see something going wrong, I ain't open my mouth. I said, okay. Why? Because my mama perfectly put that damn belt on my ass to teach me, you better learn to look the other way. You better learn to shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of correcting the cracker and telling me you got a right to speak. So when it was my son's time, and he was in the play, and the teacher took him out to play, and he came home complaining to me. And I said, are you telling me the truth? Yes, sir, Dad, I'm telling you. I said, okay. When I take you to school tomorrow, we're going to confront that teacher. And when the teacher start lying, you better tell the teacher, use a goddamn lie. Use a goddamn lie. And we was in that school, in that hallway, and as soon as the teacher start telling a lie, he was, use a goddamn lie. Use a goddamn lie. The
How old was he?
He was like, what, 9, 10, something like that. And so the teacher was looking down, Jabari, that's not nice. Stop saying that. Stop saying that. And he's still, use a goddamn lie. Use a goddamn lie. And I'm standing there and I'm smiling and I can see my son getting even bolder with it. Right. Now he's pointing his finger in the cracker's face. Use a goddamn lie. Right. And I said, I will never break my son, and I'll be damned if I let you break him.
I know that's right.
That play.
I know that's right.
And my son was in that play. You ain't gonna break mine.
You got to raise them. You got to raise some warriors.
That's right. That's right.
You really got to raise warriors.
Yes. Yes.
But you know what? I want to go back a little bit. When you think of the cross, first of all, that's our symbol. I'm not going to go back in the ancient world because that's not my level of expertise. But I would definitely say in the world of Vodun, right? When we look at voodoo and Ifa, the cross is a symbol of what we call like the crossroads, right? There's an Orisha who is Papa Legba. And I'm not going to get into all the ins and outs of Legba, but the cross more so is, that crossroads where you get to points in your life where you have to make a decision. Mm-hmm. And you have to use the power of your mind to help you make good decisions, So the cross is our symbol that they've taken. And they have disturbed it and whitewashed it and what's the word? I guess I could say convoluted it, perverted it. Because even when you think about Constantine, remember, according to the historical references, Constantine, when he looked up in the sky and he saw the cross, he said the Spirit told him to conquer in this sign. So to the European, the cross is not religion at all. It has nothing to do with religion. And it has everything to do with politics and colonization and conquering. They don't give a damn about no religion. They never have and they never will.
That's right.
That cross is just something that they use to conquer people. That's all. And we take it as a symbol of holiness. It is not. It is a symbol where you're supposed to use the power of your mind to make sound and good decisions
That's
as
right.
you go through your life journey, building character and elevating your spiritual divinity and your consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
And to them, is to make us subjects, chattel slavery, to impose themselves on us, to annex lands, to break treaties, to conquer
That's
using the
right.
sign of the cross. So it's
That's right.
really political and it's nothing religious. And that's what people need to wake up and realize that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a coin. It has two sides. Our
Mm-hmm.
side is the biblical side. Their side is the political side.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't give a damn about no damn Christianity. They don't care nothing about that
Sure don't.
at all.
No. And you just made a great point too that I want to talk about. Black people, when we're dealing with God in the realm of asking, we're always asking for comfort. We're always asking for to be soothed. But other people, they go to war in the name of their God to go conquer and kill whoever the fuck is in their way.
Facts.
That's how they use theirs. But we don't even think in terms of calling on our God to help us conquer these damn bastards. We don't even think in those terms of conquering the enemy. We don't think in the terms of rulership, but yet we want to say we serve God. Come the hell on.
Right.
It's been removed from your mind that you got to conquer. It's been removed from your mind that you got to fight, that you even got to kill. It's removed from your mind. And it should always be there because you're walking around a very deadly enemy. A very deadly enemy who loves to shed your blood.
Yeah.
And you don't even think in terms of how I got to think about how I'm going to conquer him. You don't even think in those terms. That's a damn shame.
It's a damn shame. It's shocking. It's past shame. It's shocking to know how you got 100 to 200. Some slave masters had 300 slaves on the same plantation. He's just walking around there with his children and his wife. And you mean to tell me 300 Negroes couldn't go gut that white man like a fish?
Wow.
You hear the screams of your mother as he's assaulting her. You hear the screams as he's assaulting your daughter. And you mean to tell me all y'all slaves couldn't go and gut him like a fish? We was reading a story about Frederick Douglass the other day, even though I'm not a fan of his. Remember when they went to break him? They tried to, because he was beaten several times. And the last time was the last time. He was like, and he fought back. And when Frederick Douglass fought back and tossed that white man up and down, he just walked out and never touched him again. People only do what you allow them to do.
Say that.
And I just do not understand how, like I was telling some people today, I say, y'all can't hang with me if you're not prepared to kill.
That's right.
Don't try to be around me, be my friend, invite me to go to dinner and all y'all little parties if you're not prepared to kill. Because if somebody comes to attack you and I'm with you, it's a done deal. But I cannot say if you would do the same for me.
Exactly.
And you cannot even have any reservation. Because your reservation could be the death of us. You got to be ready.
That's right.
It's just if I can't be happy, you can't be happy.
Mm-mm.
And this attitude that I have now, I have gotten that because I denounced Christianity. I understand now I don't have to love you if you're
Mhm.
not worthy of that.
Say that.
I ain't got to forgive you
That's
if
right.
you're not sincerely sorry. A broken spirit and a contrite heart is what God don't despise, and I don't despise it either. So if you're not worthy of my love and
Mm.
worthy of me forgiving you, you won't be forgiven.
That's right.
And that's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I do feel like it's kill or be killed. Don't play with me.
That's
Don't,
right.
please don't do that.
Mm,
Because I
mm,
love my life. And I
mm.
tell people, I ain't gonna cry by myself.
I know that's real.
You do something to me and you think I'm gonna cry by myself, you sadly mistaken, because guess what? You're gonna feel what I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you're gonna feel what I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna feel it worse.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not gonna be expecting it because you thought I was soft. So don't,
That's
like, that's the type of mentality I don't understand that we didn't have. You just sitting there watching your damn child being sold,
mm,
and the men just walking around, and then you lay the slave women to lay down, open up their legs, and have more children.
mm, mm, mm,
Y'all ain't got no berries out there in the field to just take and just go ahead back to Wakanda.
mm,
Y'all waking up every day to the same horrors. And nobody said, well, not nobody, because there were a lot of, insurrections,
mm-hmm.
and revolts. Yes, there was, but that just needed to be the norm.
Right.
That just needed to be a way of life. Every day the white people wake up, we gonna give them hell.
Mm-hmm.
And they slept good at night.
Mm, mm, mm,
Good at night.
mm.
And I just don't understand that. I really just do not understand it. So, paragraph number 7. Elijah is here because the day of judgment is here. What a sorry spectacle we make before God and the nations of the world. Here we are, upwards of 20 million Black Americans who have given their blood, sweat, and service for 400 years in the vain hope that one day justice would be ours. When the bugle call of war sounded, the Black soldiers stood erect. The plains of Europe, Asia, Africa, and America have been fertilized by his blood. Yet the government of the nation for which he fought and in whose cause he died allows his sons to be lynched and then adds salt to the wound by concealing the identity of the lynchers. More, the government seeks out the lynchers and then turns them over to the fellowmen who share the lynchers' cause and motives. Our daughters and wives are lynched before our eyes. The government will not put a stop to it. They will allow the lynchers to lynch you and me if we are charged with an attempt to rape one of them. The lynchers live right next door, down the street, up the alley. Yet, they are not brought to justice. All of this grief you and I must suffer. All these burdens we must bear. Is it beyond comprehension that the American government, mistress of the seas, lord of the air, conqueror of outer space, squire of the land, and prowler of the deep bottoms of the oceans, is unable to defend us from assault, rape, and murder on the streets of these concrete jungles? What sane man can deny that it is now time that you and I take counsel among ourselves to find the end of finding justice for ourselves? Go in
Mm.
on that, please.
No, most definitely. Most definitely. This is exactly what has to happen. I mean, the government has not yet put a stop to it.
Not yet.
It's still happening to this very day. 2025 is still happening. Hell, they just beat another Black man to death in the damn jail in New York City, in New York State.
Robert Brooks?
Not there's one after him.
No.
Yes. Yes,
No.
after him. They done killed him. It broke news last night.
Oh
They
my
beat him
God.
to death. 11 of them crackers beat him to death.
This is after Robert Brooks?
After Robert Brooks.
When you said this story broke last night?
Yes.
Lord. Ooh.
Yes. And they came out and did the little press conference this afternoon and said, yeah, we removed 11 guards, and now they're on what you call it? Administrative leave. But the brother's dead.
Dead.
And you put them on administrative leave when they should be locked up waiting for their trial day, if not dead. See, they get you to believe in a system that you know there's no justice in.
Mm-hmm.
But you continue to cry, we want justice. We want justice. You continue to lie, no peace, no justice. No peace, no justice. You continue to lie while our family members are continually to be killed.
Mm-hmm.
When are you going to understand that there's a price to be paid? And the real way to stop them from killing us, if we hunt their asses down and kill them, that will stop them from killing us. Because at that point, they'll be afraid of what we will do. They're not afraid of you because you're going to picket. They're not afraid of you because you're going to protest. They're not afraid of you because you're going to get on TV and cry. They pay you no attention. And when the people ask him, well, now that you know that he was unarmed, if you had the opportunity to do it all again, what would you do differently? And they say, I wouldn't do anything differently. What Zimmerman said? God wanted me to kill Trayvon. God wanted me to kill Trayvon. And his daddy sat in the goddamn courtroom and never even went after him.
Mm-hmm.
Never even charged towards him. This is the killer of your son. This is the killer of your seed. But see, that's what an emasculated man will do. That's what an emasculated male will do.
Mm-hmm.
Sit there and be nice and polite. While the murderer, the killer of your child laughs in your face. And you do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's a sickness. That's a sickness because you fear them with this illogical fear. Just as they did on the plantation. You see these damn crackers out here, it'd be one police officer. One surrounded by black people. And he control you with his voice. He don't even have to pull out his damn gun.
Mm-hmm.
And you won't do a goddamn thing. Fear. Fear. If you change the word lynchings to police killings or to white people killing of black people, this is happening right in front of your face. And you so dumb that you want to run. Let me go get me a lawyer. And so you get the lawyer and they start talking that talk. And like they told Tamir Rice mom, hey, you got to stop saying that. We trying to get you paid.
Mm.
She said, fuck getting paid.
I know that's right. That's right. But you know, that's why people, I think that was Tariq Nasheed. He was talking about why people should not use Crump. Because that, you know, and this is not me. I'm just, you know, this is what I remember Tariq Nasheed saying. Crump just want money. He don't want justice.
That's right. That's all he wants. If you look before Trayvon, Trump wasn't rich. I mean, that lawyer wasn't rich. Trump wasn't rich. Trump, he wasn't rich. He was barely middle class. Now he has his own personal private jet because he get 33% of whatever the winnings is. So it's economically feasible for him and his progeny that the murder of our people continue.
Yeah.
Because that's how he gets paid.
It's very profitable.
Very. Very. He don't want justice. He ain't looking for justice. When Tamir Rice's mom called out Tamika Mallory and the Black Lives Matter and all of them, supposed to be activist people, shunned her, being disrespectful to her because she wouldn't allow them to control what come out of her mouth. When Trump, that's why Trump walked away from her. Tamika Mallory and all of them, they left her. Because they understood she ain't in it for money. Mm-hmm. Well, if she ain't in it for money, I ain't got shit to do with her. She wanted justice. They wanted to get paid.
Whatever happened with that?
Nothing. I think at one, they either fired the cop or tried to charge him, but he didn't have to pay for it.
So he did. So nobody went to jail for Tamir?
No, I don't believe anybody went to jail.
My God.
I don't believe anybody went to jail.
Now, this is very interesting. I just pulled this up. I asked AI a question about how many people attended Emmett Till's funeral. Mm-hmm. And based upon what AI is saying, it says more than 50,000 people attended Emmett Till's funeral, and about 100,000 people viewed his open casket over 4 days. That's an army. So we can come together to look at the dead body in the casket, to sing songs, hymns, and pray, right? But we can't come together to go to these people's house and handle business. And those men, they've never even touched those two brothers.
Exactly.
They didn't touch those brothers. They just walked back and forth through the community like nothing was wrong.
Exactly. They should have been killed. They assisted with the killing of our brother Emmett Till, and they walked among us like it was nothing. Like it was nothing.
Can you imagine 100,000 people pulling up on the scene? 100,000 of us pulling up on the scene. Everywhere.
Yes.
America would have been on fire if we had a like mindset.
Exactly. And all of that would have made a difference. And we wouldn't, to this day, we wouldn't be calling around our people getting killed and there's no reaction. That has stopped all of that. Because these guys, they are afraid. They ain't really about that type of fucking life. They not really about that fucking life. Trust and believe. They're not. But if they know you ain't gonna do shit back, oh yeah, they'll talk that shit and they'll do whatever they want because they know you ain't gonna do nothing back. Mm-hmm. But when you in their face and you about to do some shit, then they want to say, okay, let's talk peace. Let's work this shit out. But as long as you wanting to beat us, go along to get along. Look, do you remember when the Gen 6 movement
No.
You don't remember? Okay. Well, Genesis 6 happened in Louisiana, where something happened, a fight happened or whatever, and they had these black boys and they were going to charge them with high crimes and stuff like that.
Oh, I
And a
think I
lot of
remember what you're
people
talking about.
protest.
Mm-hmm.
You remember now?
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people protest and did all of that stuff that they did. Then maybe about maybe 2-3 years after it, a girl down there, what's her name? Shamika? I think her name was Shamika. Obama was president. These white boys wrote nigger on her shirt, nigger on her car, beat her up,
Mm-mm.
set the girl on fucking fire. You hear me? Set
Mm.
her on fire.
Gee whiz.
They charged her with the crime, said she lied and made the shit up. I went there. I got in my car and I drove from Tennessee to Louisiana. Because it incensed. Look, I remember the day that I got the message. I was getting off work. And I got a phone call and it said, hey, this is what happened in Louisiana, such and such and such. Now, I would normally get these briefings every morning, so I know what's going on. I said, oh no, I got to go to Louisiana. Then the crew that I was with, they were like, no, you don't need to go to Louisiana. We can't lose you. You don't need to go to Louisiana. You need to sit this out. And I'm like, no, I'm going to Louisiana. I get there. She's still in the hospital. I walk in the room and her aunt is there. And she's like, may I help you? I was like, my name is Maurice Muhammad. I heard about what happened to this girl. And I come to help. She said, I thank you for coming. But the best thing that you can do is get back in your car and go wherever you came from.
Mm.
Because when they came for Gina 6, and after all the crowds went home, them crackers went off on us.
Mm.
Them white people went off on us.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody came to save us.
Wow. I believe it.
And she said, I appreciate your stance. But whatever you do, when you leave, we may not be alive any longer.
My God, today. They just over there living and shuddering in fear.
Exactly. And as I'm driving off in tears, because I know no justice would come to her. And the pain that our people go through. At some point, damn it, enough has to be enough.
That's right. Enough has to be enough. You got to get to that point where enough is enough is enough.
Oh, the sadness of our people.
But isn't it sad that we have not gotten to the point of it being enough after all that we have been through?
Oh, yeah.
It's still not enough. And you know, there was a girl, she was found hanging at just last year. They found her, I think that was in Orlando. They found her hanging. And no. The Alabama chair incident. After the Alabama, one of the things I told people with that Alabama chair incident, I said they're going to kill a lot of black people after this. And there were reports coming out at a lot of black people being lynched and murdered. And I think she was one of them, the young girl who was lynched in Orlando. And I told my friends, I said, I told you. I said, these white folks know how to keep y'all in check. And if they even think that you want to get, some little, S on your chest, they may not be able to get to those Alabama people, or maybe, whatever the case may be, but they showing up got to some of us in other
Mhm.
places. They paid the price.
Mhm.
That is so true. That is so true. People are shuddering in grown men that try to
Yes.
knock you try to knock me and you out, but
Yes.
won't pick up a weapon to fight someone who hates you simply because you black.
Mm, mm,
Don't
mm,
even know you. You just black and I hate you. And everything about you and everything that comes from you. We don't want to stop that, but we
mm.
want to shoot our. I just went to a party over the weekend. One of my coworkers' friends was shot and killed, and it's just who. Sometimes you just got to be like. Sometimes you're at a loss for words because it say right here, it's beyond comprehension that the American government, mistress of the seas, lord of the air, conqueror of outer space, even though they never went to Mars, they never went outer space. They can't get past that radiation belt. But they always going up in the air, squire of the land, prowler of the deep bottoms of the oceans, and they can do all of these things except defend us.
Mm, mm,
We
mm,
were just talking about social reform today. I was talking to a group of people about social reform. And I was asking them, don't give me nothing basic and simple. Like really think about some things that you think needs to be changed in order to prove society to make it fair for everybody.
mhm,
And some people was talking about the environment in terms of pollution. I can't think of all of them right now, but I really got some good responses. And one particular lady, she said, you know what, we need a hate bill. And I say, you know what, you're absolutely right. Because the Asians got their hate bill before we got ours. And if anybody should have got that hate bill first, it should have been us. And it
mm,
should have been extensive. The punishment should be extensive. So to tell me that somebody was murdered after Robert Brooks, those police officers and those correction officers who killed the guy who died last night, they were well aware of what they were doing. And
mhm.
you did it anyway.
Yep.
So they don't even fear punishment. They don't even fear the judicial system to turn around and do it again just a few months later. And
Mhm,
yet, and after Robert Brooks, I pretty much lost respect for pretty much black people. I'm just done because we still had Super Bowl.
exactly.
We still look at all these men and women now doing a little Kendrick Lamar challenge.
Mm, mm,
Another black man died. And I told you, I said, I'm seeing a lot of athletes get on their knee to propose to a white woman, but would not take a knee with Colin Kaepernick.
mm, mm, mm,
That is unbelievable that they were afraid to take a knee and refuse to, the
mm,
majority,
mhm.
to protest police brutality. He's saying, look, I'm black, you black. Look, we got to bring attention to this. They killing us.
Exactly.
But playing football was more important than the cause. But
Mm,
the same knee that they refused to bow against police brutality, they're on the knee proposing to a white woman for her hand in marriage.
mm, mm, mm,
I can't respect anybody like that.
mm, mm,
They're
mm.
not worthy of respect.
No, no.
They're not. They're just not worthy of respect under any circumstances.
Nope.
Okay, so we on paragraph 8. Actually we on page number 6. We got 2 more to go. Let's see, can we ride it out?
Okay.
If we continue to accept these injustices, we are nothing but cowards. If we be cowards, then we ought to go home, kill our wives, and then commit suicide. We killed the devil in Germany. We killed his brothers for him. We killed our own brothers for him. Yet we are without justice. We have nothing. Our sons and daughters are lynched, kicked, beaten, hung up in the sun, drowned in the river, in ponds, and in lakes. Their bodies are found in the street, on the highway, in the bushes, killed by the very people for whom they have slaved their lives out to give comfort. When you stand up and speak a word in behalf of your own people, you are classified as a troublemaker. You are classified as a communist, as a race hater, and
mm,
everything but good. How can you, I'm sorry, how can you as a people ever be anything if you are going to crush out the leaders who try to seek justice for you, even at the cost of their own lives? I, Elijah Muhammad, am classified as a race hater. What race? What teaching am I uttering that you can classify as race hatred? How can the devil say little Elijah Muhammad is teaching race hatred in the face of over 400 years of his hatred of you and me?
mm.
If God has revealed to me the truth of this race of people and yourself, and I tell you of it, and that is the truth, then don't say that I am teaching race hatred. Just say I teach the truth. There is only one thing that I am teaching today. That is, what does he say? There is only one thing that I am teaching today that is hatred. That is the truth of the devil. The
Mm.
truth I did not know. Only God knows the truth of the devil, and he has revealed it to me. If that is not the truth, let the devil attack God. It is just that the truth has come to you, people without the knowledge of truth, the deceived and misled by a wise, wicked scientist. I am here with the truth from God Almighty. And for that truth, I'll give my life. I will not hide that truth to the inducement of falsehood. I won't mix it up with falsehood. I say to you, my beloved brothers and sisters of injustice, if you will only reflect on what is said from the mouth of Elijah, you will not take it for insult. You will not take him for a race hater. You will take him for a beloved brother, a beloved teacher, and a beloved defender of yourself.
That's
I
right.
am not before you of myself. I have not been sent of myself. My mission is not for me, nor is my mission from the devil. I have been sent by Almighty God, Allah. It is a very strong and powerful mission that will bring a turning point in the history of the world at large, the black man in particular. The
Mm.
truth, the truth will make you free. What is that truth that will free us? You say, we already free. Abraham Lincoln freed us. That's not the kind of freedom of which I speak. Abraham Lincoln was not instrumental in trying to free you. Remember that. Abraham Lincoln wanted a United States of America. They didn't want two presidents. They didn't want two governments ruling America. They wanted only one government with one president for all. It was not that they were so full of love for the
Mm.
so called Negroes that he wanted to free them from the hands of his brother, but this was a good weapon to bring his brother into submission to his idea of a United States and one president of that United States. So, therefore, you were just lucky that you got freed from servitude and slavery at that time. Otherwise, you would probably still. Woo! Otherwise, you would probably, damn, you so goddamn dumb that you'll probably still be in servitude and slavery today. You
Mm.
say you love Lincoln. You love him because he freed us. He is your emancipator. But I say to you, my beloved brothers and sisters, Mr. Lincoln was not your brother. He was not your friend any more than George Washington. You know, I got to pause on that.
Mhm.
Ain't no way I ain't riding through that. We got to stop light. The goddamn red light. I have a book on Abraham Lincoln. It's a timepiece. I have to look and see where my book is because I was gifted this book. It's very thick. It's like a conversation piece that you leave on your table. And it was in a closet. and it was nobody. It's like some books that nobody wanted until I wanted those books. So I'll be honest with you, I took it because I knew nobody was going to read it, and I made it a part of my library collection. In the book, the Lincoln generals, when he sent them out, they would come back with reports, and they were losing miserably. And his generals told him more than once, President Lincoln, let the Negroes fight with us. What did Lincoln say? I can't do that. He said, I have to win some of these. We have to win some of these battles on our own. This is not a fight that involves a black man. They ain't got nothing to do with this. This is a white man's war. So go back out there and fight and win. And it wasn't happening. His generals came back to him when all was about to fail. And they said, it's either put them in or there will be two countries. There's nothing else you can do. If you don't put them in, you're done. And that is when he sat down to pen the Emancipation Proclamation. Because remember what he said, if I can keep you a slave and save the United States, I'll do it. But if I have to free you, I will do that too. And he also said he felt that white people were a superior race. Abraham Lincoln was not our friend. So he used us to win the fight. And then what happened? What was it? A year after slavery? Maybe I think they put aside $1 million for everybody, and went on to fight in the West, and told us to do what? Pull yourself up by the bootstrap.
Yep.
Don't complain. Shut up. Sojourner Truth, she went to the United States government and she petitioned, give us some land in the West. The same way you removing these Indians, give us some land in the West. Because remember, the United States government never thought that the United States would pass the Mississippi River. So from the East Coast, from the Eastern Atlantic coast to the Mississippi, that's millions of acreage, right?
That's right.
So they had no idea that the United States was going to spread. So she was like, well, since y'all don't ever think y'all going to get that far anyway, give us some land in the West. And they told, no, but you can give white man 50 acres for himself and every member of his family for free. And then emancipate us and give us absolutely nothing but $1 million between all of us. And we supposed to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. And when we do, you blow that up and burn it down. Poison the water. You know, they never stop.
That's right.
They never, when I say they never stop, they never stop. I think it's something innately, something genetic, something in their DNA that make that when they see us doing well, it is activated to bring some type of detriment to us. They hate to see us doing well.
Exactly.
They don't feel as though, like they say, it's nothing about us they feel they need to respect. Nothing at all.
Nope, not at all.
So now let me see where I am. I know where I'm gonna stop. So now we are 100 years up from slavery. Many of you feel proud that you have been schooled. You have a few diplomas and degrees. You can do little things educationally, but that does not get you justice in America. You still suffer injustice with an armful of diplomas and degrees from colleges and universities. Is that right?
That's right.
If that is not right, I am willing that you shoot me down, cut me down any way you please to get rid of me. If I am not right, but if I am right, be aware. What we want today is justice. We want the truth, and the truth has come to you. You're not accepting it. Think it over. Here are a few of us who have accepted God to be our Lord. We have accepted Islam to be our religion, an old religion as old as God himself, a religion of the prophets, of all the righteous, a religion of freedom, justice, and equality, a religion of universal brotherhood, a religion that a brother will fight and die for his brother, a religion that believes in the law that was given to Moses, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. That really resonated with me, brother.
Mm.
When I read that paragraph, I saw the Nation of Islam in a different light.
Mm.
And I said to myself, if there was a way to take religion out of the nation and just stand on this alone, a religion of freedom or death, justice and equality or death, a
Mhm.
universal brotherhood, all for one and one for all. You touch one, you're going to have to touch all of us. Because what we going to do when you touch one? we going to fight.
That's right.
we going to die for our brother. Because what we believe in, an eye for an eye and a
Mhm.
tooth for a tooth.
Yep.
And it ain't no in between. That's it. That's the
Mhm.
motto. That's the battle cry.
Exactly.
That's the objective, the mission, and everything in between. Don't fuck with us. Because if you fuck with one of us, you're going to have to fuck with all of us. That's our religion. Eye for an eye and a tooth for a goddamn tooth.
That's right.
That shit was powerful right there.
That's right.
That's what I believe in.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking you up when you fuck with me.
Yes. Yes.
This don't make no sense. He said, y'all out there praying for an answer and a solution, and I'm giving it to you, but you don't want to hear it. He said, y'all don't even want to accept it. And I'm saying, come over here where we gonna protect you. They ain't gonna touch your children no more. You mean to tell me they love Jesus more than they own the child they pushed out of their womb? You love Jesus so much that you're not even willing to come join a group that would defend you from your child being murdered like a dog in the street? That makes no sense to me.
None at all. None at all.
It just makes absolutely no sense. I think I'm gonna go. We're gonna get. So you still want to get to 8?
Yeah, if you got time.
Yeah, let's try to get to 8. Let's really try to do it. So look at Christianity. The law is kill. Why? Because the devil did not want you to strike back at him. Therefore, therefore they condemned an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth in their Christian religion, because 20 million so-called Negroes might get an eye for an eye. That is nothing but the common law of justice. If you pluck out my eye, I should try to pluck out yours. But you have been made such harmless slaves by the teaching of a slavery religion called Christianity, which teaches you to love. Don't strike back. Turn the other cheek. It teaches you to give freedom to the robber. If he takes one's coat, give him the cloak also. Help the robber to rob. Enrich the thief. That is the kind of religion that you are taught to believe. That is God's religion. I say, my friends, it's the slavery teaching. It is against the very nature of you and me to stand and let someone smite us on the side of the cheek, and then we turn with enough love, I would say cowardice in us, the unsmoked cheek to the smiter. You can't do that. It is against the law of nature. America can't do it. When America's cheek is struck by an enemy, she prepares her army to strike back. The Christian government in America can't do that. The Pope of Rome can't do it. If you and I don't wake up to the knowledge and execute the law of an eye for an eye, we might as well be dead and forgotten. This in 1959. This in the 1950s when they was hanging black people like clothes on a clothes rack. They was hanging more black people than the damn laundry man was hanging sheets on the goddamn laundry I don't know. Ooh, ooh, I'm trying to keep it together.
Mm, mm, mm.
It was common in the news to hear about another black man was killed today. And this
Mm.
man is telling you when they strike America, America go get her army and strike back, and then you join the army to go help them strike back.
Say
But you
that.
see your brother over here hanging from a goddamn tree, and you don't do nothing.
Don't do a damn thing.
Nothing.
Mm, mm, mm.
It's better for you and me to just go and commit suicide than for the enemy to come in our homes and drag us down, drag our daughters out, beat, lynch, and rape them while we stand by looking. If you and I are deprived of justice, if the federal government will not punish our murderers and our rapers, I say to you, we must get together and find some way to punish them ourselves.
That's right.
In the case of a recent lynching in Mississippi, the government agents spent a lot of time trying to find the lynched body to show that he had been lynched. It would have been easier to find the murderers than the dead body.
Mm,
According to the papers, that is all you and I have to go by. The government knows the lynchers because they
mm,
are the lynchers. But since finding the lynchers, according to the papers, they have turned the lynchers over to the judges of their own native state and court. Then they will be freed, as all the other lynchers of our people have been freed. This
mm.
is happening right now today. He said, we have come to the point where we must find justice for ourselves or commit suicide. What good is your life and my life if we have no protection? If I were a black woman and my men were such cowards that they would not try and defend me and the children I had produced, I'd get a shotgun and kill myself. This is
Mm.
nothing but right. This thing has come to a point of explosion. I am your brother, and your hurt is my hurt. Did you hear what the master teacher said?
Yeah.
He said, I am your brother, and your hurt,
It's
it
my.
is my hurt. And it doesn't make any difference with me what religion you are, as long as you are a black man or a member of the darker people. You and I are brothers. Your hurt is my hurt. How many years have you been frightened? Keep your mouth shut. Don't say that. It's not time. When is it going to be time for you to speak up for yourself?
Mm,
You can't blame the government for not giving you anything when you are not asking for anything. The only thing that you're pleading for is a job.
mm,
And watch this. And reparations, I'm sorry, I got to throw that in there.
mm.
Is it not true that John Hawkins, the slave trader of our people, brought you and me here for the just purpose of working for the white man? He
Mm.
didn't bring you here to make you white man's equal. It is certainly evident by now that it was never intended that you be a full citizen, owner, or a significant office holder in America. Your role was that of a slave. Today, even though 400 years have lapsed, that intent underlines your role in the American body politic. You
Mm.
want to say something on that?
Definitely. You know, it's past time. It is past time that we open our mouth and speak straight words. Straight words. You know, they have this saying where it says, speak truth to power. Speak truth to power. But the reality is, those bastards that's sitting in these government seats are really not the power. The power is you. The power is you. Speak truth to you, which will empower you, me, us, to change our reality. Our brother who was killed, Messiah Nanwi, was 22 years old. up in the jail in New York State. Right after they killed Robert Brooks, he's the next one that they killed.
We actually got to page 10. We reached our goal. Can you put his picture up on the screen, please?
Yeah, let
We
me.
zoomed past page 8. Boy, we went past our goal. Put that brother up here so we can see his face.
Okay.
1959, Elijah Muhammad was giving this speech. He had he had to be protected. He had to have this protection of the spiritual realm to say this type of stuff openly without fear.
Mm, mm, mm. So I want to make sure that this picture I'm looking at is the correct picture.
What's his name again?
Messiah Nanwi, Nantwi. Okay, yeah, this is him. This is him right here.
He was 22 years old.
22 years old.
He was a smoke shop accused
That,
smoke
yeah,
shop
that's what he was accused of.
of shooting someone who owned a smoke shop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so and you he was in jail. He had been arrested
Yep. Mm-hmm.
and they beat him to death in New York. Was it the same was it the same prison?
No, I don't think it was the same prison. But the thing is, if you notice, these prison strikes that they're on now in New York State, that didn't happen until those cops who beat up who killed Robert Brooks was charged. When they got charged, then these officers went on strike. They
Because
went
they
on,
don't want to be charged, huh?
they don't want to be
For their
charged.
brutality.
They want to be able to use what do they call that
Excessive
confinement?
force.
No, the when they lock you in a room and no, you don't have no contact with nobody. What is that called?
Solitary confinement?
Yeah, there you go. Solitary confinement. Because New York State passed a law that you can't just throw somebody in solitary confinement whenever you feel like it and leave them there for years. You can't do that no more. So the correctional officers are protesting that they don't like that. They ain't protesting. They don't get paid enough because they're getting money out the yazoo. The overtime they don't like, but their main thing is that law, the Hall law. They want it removed so that they can throw you into that type of confinement for years, for years. And so with this brother, look, the governor said, we not releasing how he died because it is what was her exact words? Let me go back and pull up her exact words that she said. Because you gotta know and you gotta understand exactly what we're dealing with.
While you pulling that up, I'm reading something too.
Okay.
And it says, while the investigation into this incident is ongoing, early reports point to extremely disturbing conduct leading to his death.
Mm-hmm.
And it says that It says something about it was violent, senseless death at the hands of state correctional officers. And they're trying to say that he was described as a bright young man dealing with significant mental health challenges following a dysfunctional, violent upbringing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's always our fault.
Mm-hmm. Now, we know that in these prisons in America, they have boiled black men to death. Literally, and I'm not speaking figuratively, I mean
Right.
literally
Right.
boiled them to death.
Yeah. Yep.
In our lifetime,
Yes.
this shit has happened. The screams of our brothers being boiled to death and the other inmates hearing it, spreading fear into the inmates, letting them know that the officers can do damn near anything that they want to do to them
Mm-hmm.
because nobody's going to cry out for them. Nobody going to speak up for them. Who's going to speak up for our brother Messiah who was murdered by the devil? Who going to speak for him?
Crump.
And Crump ain't even speaking for him. Crump speaking for himself. Crump speaking for his. Do you remember when Eric Gardner was killed? And the first time his wife was on TV, she was saying, I don't want no apology. I don't want you to tell me you sorry. I don't want to hear none of that. Then that no good nigga Al Sharpton got next to her, whispered in her ear. Then they come on Meet the Press. Get on Meet the Press and she say, my husband was lazy. My husband was out there selling cigarette Lucy's. And and here she is. Just yesterday, she was on the front line defending her husband. And now today, she in front of the world killing her husband all over again.
Insulting him.
Exactly.
Insulting his memory before a bunch of murderers and thieves and liars.
Exactly. And Al Sharpton just sitting there quiet, like she's saying the right thing. Because he programmed her to say that.
Yeah.
He programmed her to say that for money.
But you know, when I was a Malcolm fan. When I say I loved Malcolm, you know, before my eyes was open, I didn't like Elijah Muhammad. I didn't have a reason for not liking him. But you know, the word on the card was he was responsible for the death of Malcolm X. That's what they had all of us believing, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like the Nation of Islam. I did not like Elijah Muhammad. I did not like Minister Louis Farrakhan. I did not like that man for nothing in this world. And when I read Message to the Black Man in America, that's why I love Elijah Muhammad, because his revelations is so powerful. He makes me think from a different side of my brain. And I realized that Malcolm was wrong for going to the white news reporters to tell it. He should have been talking to them under. I don't give a damn what the fuck was going on in the Nation of Islam. He was not supposed to be talking to the white man. Exactly. What in the world could Elijah Muhammad have done in comparison to what white people have done to us that you feel you need to go sit down and have a conversations with these demons and devils?
Exactly.
He was wrong for that.
Exactly.
He was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
All of the dirt and the damage and the hurt and the pain and the murder and the shedding of blood that has happened at the hands of white American people. And you go run over there and have a conversation about this black man? Nah, that's not the way we do it.
Exactly.
And that made me shift my thinking.
Exactly.
That just made me shift my thinking, because that's not right. They're not gonna come to you. They're not gonna come to us and run and tell what the fuck going on with them.
Exactly.
They're not gonna do that. Look at it. Look at Trump. Trump got a whole goddamn administration team and don't and none we don't even represent it with the exception of his boy with his pardons are. He
Mm,
let us know I ain't appointing none of you Negroes because I don't fucking need you right now. This shit is
mm,
not about you. This some white people shit. I got my white administrative team and that's it.
exactly.
But we feel we gotta run to the devil to be heard out of all the shit that they have done. And it's ridiculous. But
Very.
you say you wanted to pull up something,
No, what you read is the same thing that I was going to read. Hmm.
so we'll find out in the end. Um, we'll just find out in the end. So that was really nice. I enjoyed this reading.
Definitely.
This was good. I enjoyed it. It was everything, even more than I imagined it to be. And I feel like it's part of my responsibility to finish this book. I hope that we can dedicate ourselves to it because I want to just pick his brain. I want to pick
Exactly.
his brain because I wasn't there, but
Right.
I'm there. You see, we still live
Right.
like look at how much of this stuff is still relevant today.
Exactly.
Our men being cowards, seeing
Mm,
what's going on with our women, and we not turning up proper.
exactly.
They still killing us like dogs in the street, and there is no justice. I have always told people an all white jury is unconstitutional.
Exactly.
And we still, it's 2025, and we're still having all white juries. And you mean to tell me the prosecutors, the judge, the jury, they don't see that this shit is wrong?
Mm,
Because
mm.
if I had an all white jury, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna act a whole ass. I wish a motherfucker would give me an all white jury. It ain't no
I know
fucking way
that's
we
right.
gonna proceed with that. It ain't no goddamn way they're gonna have to muzzle me.
Hmm.
They're gonna have to wheel me in there muzzled the fuck up because that's
Hmm.
unconstitutional to have an all white. They cannot be trusted,
Never.
especially when it comes to matters of black people.
Exactly.
They cannot be trusted. And it's sad that in 2025, we are still seeing all white juries to handle cases dealing with black people.
Mm, mm, mm.
They have failed us in the past and they still failing us today.
That's right.
And we still had our Super Bowl. We're gonna have our NBA and all other sports, and we got black men and women just tick-tocking and two-stepping and but we're not getting anywhere. We're
Mm.
not getting nowhere. So thank you very much. We will be back here again next week, Tuesday at 6. We're gonna do pages 16 to 17 until we finish the book.
Most definitely.
And you could close it out.
All right. I want to thank again all of our listeners. Please share the program. I want to thank Mayat for coming up with this awesome idea because it's something that's definitely needed. And I appreciate her for everything that she does. And, normally how we deal with the comments and show the comments, we didn't do that on this program simply because we wanted to focus our energy on what it is that we're reading and to make sure that we're on that line, on that height that we need to be. And sometimes the comments can draw us away from that. So, but we thank you for sending us your comments. We love it. We love it. We actually please to like, share, and subscribe if you have not. Make sure y'all also subscribe to Mayat's channel. Trust and believe. I think it was Brother Mac who said that she would make an awesome professor. You just don't know.
Hold on, Marie. Before you leave, I had my phone down. I didn't even look in the chat, and I just picked because I didn't even know how to work this YouTube. But you got Earthman, MOA, Earth up in here, Robert Epps. You got who else up in here? Hold up, we got like it's one. We had an hour and 49 minutes. How does that go? No, we an hour and 49 minutes.
Yeah, we're at an hour
Let
49 minutes right now.
let's dig into these comments until we get to 2 hours.
Okay.
let's see. Let's see. It says the Holy Robert Epps says the Holy Quran says kill not the soul which Allah has forbidden except for a just cause.
Mm-hmm.
And the most honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that black people love white people because they give us nothing. That's Robert Epps.
Mm.
MOA says the whole world before the great flood was black. I know that's right. At one
Mm.
point, everybody on earth was black. It was nothing but a sea of blackness.
That's right.
This is the Robert Epps says this is the white man's world, but their time to rule is up.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what else we got in here. And the beast shall be their graves. That's from Earth Angel. Robert says, and another thing, we black people are contributing to that great injustice by rejecting the truth. You're absolutely right. And Earth
Mm.
said, is this our sister Digger? Oh, yeah. That's right, Earth. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Let me see. The Council of Nicaea, that's what it was all about. They were trying to figure out what the debate, figure out and debate the that's true. They really, and you know, the thing about the Council of Nicaea is that African people brought them African spirituality. Because white people have no, the only origins they have is in the laboratories and caves. So they know nothing about religion. They really don't know anything about spirituality. And they really had to sit down and be taught. And see, those Gnostics or those people that know the truth, they know that Jesus never existed.
Mm.
But you know, and so I think it's Infodici Jehutimus that says they were killing people until they changed their mind and say, okay, yes, he is, because they didn't want to die. That's
Mm.
why every time you see a picture of Jesus, he has the rays above his head because he's nothing more than a personification of the Son.
Mm.
Robert Epps says white Jesus never existed, but black Jesus did. I don't believe that. And when I came out of Christianity, you know, I stopped believing in the white Jesus. I picked up the black Jesus, and a week later, I didn't give a fuck about no more Jesus. I was done with that. I was
Mm.
just done with that. I believe in the Sa, Aset, and Heru, the Holy Trinity. Um, Robert says Jesus can't deliver you, but Allah, the God of the nation of Islam, can. And let me see what else I saw. B1 is alive and well. What else? You see anything you want to touch on? My aunt would have made an awesome professor. Thank you, Mac 285. You know, I'll be like the little ghetto professor because I be going in. Um, I sure no, I would not show my face, Earth Angel. That's not important to me. I love I'm a woman of privacy. I don't think I have to get online and present myself to anybody. Feel my energy.
No,
Just
she was talking about Eric
who?
Gardner's mother. Earth Angel in that comment, she was talking about Eric Gardner's
Oh,
wife.
okay.
She can't
Okay.
show her face now.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, but for those of you who are wondering, I'm just not a person that like to. I just love my space and my peace. You know, for some reason, I have to be honest. When I'm around adults, I stutter because I feel the energy from adults, and a lot of it because I've been so hurt and so broken by people that I love to go into my little shell and just be left alone. And that's where I find my power. So if I were to show my face, I would be stuttering, I would be anxious, I would be shaking. And I don't want to give my power away. I just want to, the last chapter of my life, I want to enjoy it. And this is, you know, how I feel comfortable. So I even thank Brother Maurice for allowing me, because I talk to him about this all the time, for just allowing me to be comfortable with not revealing who I am, with, you know, just showing my face, because I just don't feel comfortable with that.
Most definitely.
You
Most definitely.
know?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And Emil, that yes, that definitely was the KKK with the burning cross. Um, you know, but I say this, you know, all of our members, our family members that, you know, come to the program and participate and share their wisdom as long, and, you know, with us as we go in and share wisdom. It's all love. It's all love. I truly believe, I know that we are the ones that are going to come into rulership, and we have to get ready. We have to get ready. We have to be ready for rulership. We have to be ready for fighting. It's one place in the Quran, Allah says that it was not you who slayed them. It was I who slayed them by your hands. By your hands. So that means that your hands going to get bloody.
Mm-hmm.
You know that 1,000%. We got Big Brother Roy in the house. Peace and blessings, big bro. I'm always glad when you drop in, and we can't be this emasculated man that the enemy wants you to be. You can't do that. You got to speak up. You got to do the things that men do. You got to do the things that men do and have no fear. Literally, have no fear. Don't be afraid to speak up when you hear something wrong. Don't be afraid. One of the things, I have daughters, and when boys try to date my daughters, and I get them questioning them, and you see them crumble, literally crumble, because they can't deal with the weight of the questions. One of the big questions I asked them, if the police, you and my daughter together, and the police try to move on my daughter, would you kill them? Well, bye. Because if it's not on your mind that you will kill for her, nigga, you don't need to be talking to her.
That's right. You can't have her.
Nope.
You can't have her.
Mm-mm. And literally, these dudes crumble. They crumble. They're, and I don't know why their dad didn't teach them. Maybe they just didn't know themselves. But one of these girls that have Muhammad, my girls, no, baby, it ain't gonna rock like that. Because I will kill you behind my children.
Mm-hmm.
I will kill you. Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about it. And they know that. They know that.
And I'm sorry, Maurice, I started listening to country music some years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And if you listen to country music, white country music, they love their women.
Mm.
They don't call them bitches and hoes.
Mm-mm.
They express how much love and affection and appreciation they have for them.
Mm.
I'm talking about, it's so beautiful. The lyrics are beautiful and uplifting. Meanwhile, you turn the channel to our music, and we bitches and hoes and everything in between.
Mm.
So, like, we got to do better.
Most definitely.
We got to do better. Our men should be ashamed to say the things that they say about women, that they would do to women in music. It's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
And that was not the type of music that we made.
No.
We made beautiful music.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just trash, and it's disgusting. And it's no respect for women.
None.
And the women ain't no better because their music is gutter too now.
Mm-hmm.
It's so disgusting and shameful.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And and that's why, we say when we whoop enough ass, everybody gonna get in line and do right. Because they have to. And I know I said this on the program a few weeks ago, but they have to fear us. Because when they fear us, then they're going to do right. And I'm talking about black people too. They need to fear us. Because they'll go right They'll treat black women with respect if they know somebody coming behind them to tear that ass up.
Facts.
You learn it. And I know I said a few years ago when Doc and I were on, and there was this black girl twerking at one of the monuments in DC, and all these white people standing around looking. I said, if I was there, I'd have took my belt off and whooped her ass. Because that shit will not be allowed.
Mm-hmm. Making us look bad.
Exactly.
Making all of us look bad.
Exactly.
But you know, it's written in the, and that's like we were going head to head about this prophetic thing when I said, I forgot what I said, something about prophecy. You know who I'm talking about.
Right.
It is in the ancient prophetic text that in the last days we would be dancing. Like you would see a lot of us, we would be so consumed with dancing that we're not going to be paying attention to the signs of the times. And we're seeing that in real time. Like we got pastors on TikTok and Instagram doing dance challenges. You know, one man just got married, and he's just got married, and he's doing the TikTok challenge, the TikTok dance that Kendrick Lamar did in Super Bowl. Let me tell you, if I was his wife, that goddamn wedding would have been canceled. Because you can't surprise me with no dumb shit like that.
Exactly.
Because you just put a curse on me and you in our family. Don't bring that shit up in here. Because basically what you're showing is that we go along and get along and we ride this goddamn bandwagon. So you just cursed our blessing with this bullshit. And I would have walked the fuck out that church and left his stupid ass standing there two-step into Kendrick Lamar.
Exactly.
All right.
All righty, excellent. And again, we thank you all for joining us, and we actually ought to come back next Tuesday, 6 p.m. We'll be here continuing the book review of The Fall of America. And as we always say, you kill the nigga in you, I'm going to kill the nigga in me, and our God will reign supreme. We are Black First, today, tomorrow, and forever. Love you, family. Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. So you better get the message and get it straight. You're going to need some bridge work. It's simple as that. Because we're living in judgment. We're living in implementation.